What if the man who publicly apologized to the church, his wife, and his son was still hiding the truth? You've heard his words. But what about the victims, those who say their voices were never heard? Today, we're uncovering the disturbing secrets behind Lovy Elias's apology. The parts they don't want you to know. Stay with me, because this story goes far deeper, and far darker, than the headlines suggest. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about controversies shaking the church community. The public apology from Lovy Elias, a man once revered as a spiritual pillar, to his church, his wife, and his son. You've likely seen the headlines, the viral statements, the emotional video clips that circulated online like wildfire. But here's the thing. You won't believe what happened next. Behind that apology lies a complex web of unanswered questions, silenced voices, and victims who say their pain has been overlooked for far too long. We're not just repeating the public narrative. We're digging deeper, into the insider details, the testimonies, and the truths mainstream media chose to ignore. What Lovy Elias said in his apology might just be the tip of the iceberg. And today, we're asking the question no one else is willing to ask. What about the victims? To understand the impact of this apology, we need to understand the man behind it. Lovy Elias wasn't just a preacher or singer, he was a movement. A figurehead of faith, music, and spiritual leadership. For years, he inspired thousands. With his charismatic presence and powerful voice, he became a symbol of hope. In churches across the country, he stood beside families in prayer, led worship services with passion, and built a reputation as a devoted husband and father. So when the apology came, when Lovy Elias stood before cameras and congregations to say he had failed his family and his church, the world stopped and listened. But what exactly did he mean? The apology was emotional. Some say it was courageous. In it, Elias admitted to unspecified wrongdoings that hurt those closest to him. He acknowledged failings, expressed remorse, and vowed to make amends. But here's where things get murky. Despite the tears and heavy tone, Elias never said exactly what he did. There were no clear admissions, no details, no accountability. Only vague references to mistakes and failures. For many, that wasn't enough. In fact, critics say the apology seemed carefully worded, almost rehearsed. It ticked all the boxes for public forgiveness, but left the actual truth locked behind closed doors. And this is where the victims begin to speak up. Behind the praise for Elias's bravery lies another story. A story the church didn't want told. We spoke with several individuals who say they were directly affected by Elias's actions. And what they revealed is heartbreaking. "I never wanted this to be public," said one anonymous woman. "I just wanted someone to listen. Someone to believe me." She described years of emotional manipulation from a trusted church leader. She said she felt trapped in a spiritual community that valued image over truth, where speaking out meant losing everything: relationships, faith, even personal safety. Another voice came from a young man. His faith shattered. His trust in spiritual leadership destroyed. "They told me to forgive and move on," he said. "But no one held him accountable. I didn't feel safe. None of us did." These aren't isolated stories. They're part of a pattern, a disturbing one. Victims say their complaints were ignored, dismissed as misunderstandings, swept under the rug in the name of protecting the church's reputation. And some say that even after the apology, they were pressured to stay silent. So how did the church respond? At first, there was silence. Then came a few carefully crafted statements praising Elias for his honesty and humility. Themes of grace, redemption, and forgiveness flooded public responses. But something was missing. There was no real plan to support victims. No investigation. No accountability for leadership that may have failed to act sooner. Church members were left divided. Some defended Elias, citing years of service. Others were devastated, angry, even, at what they saw as an institution more concerned with damage control than justice. One insider told us, "The apology felt like a performance. Behind the scenes, nothing changed." Publicly, Elias's wife and son accepted the apology. In video posts, they spoke of forgiveness, faith, and healing. They encouraged unity and moving forward. But behind closed doors, things were far more complicated. Sources close to the family revealed emotional turmoil. A wife grappling with betrayal and confusion. A son caught between admiration for his father and heartbreak over the scandal. This wasn't just a public statement, it shattered their home, a family friend shared. What's clear is that Elias's apology wasn't just about him, it affected every part of his life. His marriage. His child. His legacy. And perhaps most importantly, the people he allegedly hurt. Let's zoom out. This isn't just about one man and one apology. This is about a system, a church culture that too often chooses silence over truth. That elevates charisma over character. That protects leaders and abandons victims. Experts on church abuse warn that without real transparency and reform, these scandals will keep happening. The apology, instead of closing a chapter, has opened a much-needed debate. One that challenges spiritual institutions to ask, are we protecting people, or just protecting power? Are we listening to survivors, or silencing them for the sake of appearances? For many, faith is sacred. But when leaders fall and institutions fail, that faith is tested in painful ways. Some members have already walked away from the church, wounded, confused, angry. Others remain, clinging to hope, demanding change. And that change is possible. Some churches in similar situations have implemented real solutions. Independent oversight boards. Victim support services. Safe reporting systems. It's not about punishing people. It's about healing communities. About creating a place where truth matters more than image. And where no one, not even the most beloved leader, is above accountability. So where does that leave us? Lovy Elias's apology may have dominated headlines. But the real story lies in the shadows. In the quiet voices of the people who say they were hurt, dismissed, and silenced. Their stories matter. Their pain is real. And if the church is ever to truly heal, it must start by listening to them. Not just offering apologies, but offering justice, compassion, and change. Because this story isn't over. Not even close. If you found this story eye-opening and believe these conversations matter, please like, share, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments, respectfully. Let's create space for real dialogue, healing, and truth. Until next time. Stay safe, stay aware, and stay vocal.